Hey guys, finished a couple surgeries this morning and I thought I would let you guys know what's going on in the world of WhiskyDink coming up. And I realized I hadn't given you guys a tour of my cellar and whiskey bunker. So let's go take a look. Okay, let's get this open. So originally, this house was built in 1910 and this cellar was originally the boiler room to the house. This trapdoor didn't exist then, of course. We put this in later because the original entrance had been closed off. The original entrance came through this wall right here. All right, so we come on down and we see here, and this is the background that most of you guys see whenever I film my whiskey videos. But I got my scotch in my first 3 rows here, and then my, well, most of this is scotch down here too, but my Scotch Malt Whiskey Society bottles down there. And then you can see there's my Compass Box blends, some World whiskeys, and then coming back over here into Irish. Got my baseballs. These are all members of the 500 Home Run Club. My plaque for Derek Jeter. Some of my samples that me and some whiskey friends share. These are some boxes of whiskeys that don't really fit on the shelf very well. You can see I'm set up for a podcast. We're recording a podcast a little bit later today. The Spirited Enthusiast, available on Apple and Spotify. All right, and then you can see that I also enjoy a bottle of wine or two. And so I've got my wine cellar set up down here. Mostly these are all California wines. Over here is my red blends and Zinfandels. I'm a big fan of Zinfandel. I think it's a very underrated grape. And then I've got a local winery here at Finesse Farms. And then some whites. And then some dessert wines. Some rosés. And then you can see most of these are red blends, cabs, Syrahs, Petit Syrahs. There, gotcha. And then this is where I hang out, watch my videos. If you didn't know, I'm on YouTube as well, at The Real WhiskyDink. Got my stemware. And then these are my American whiskeys. I've got my bourbons, and then ryes down here, and then way down here my American single malts. But that shelf is getting bigger, and I need some more space. All right. Okay, so I do have some exciting stuff coming up. I have some footage I shot while I was down in Austin of an interview I had with Chris Seals of Still Austin, as well as some video shots of that. So I'm excited to get that review together. I also did some shots of the Wizard Academy down there at the Whiskey Marketing School, and I plan on putting that together for a video. And then I've got some paddle thoughts, not full reviews, but paddle thoughts of like the Gearbox GX2, the new Selkirk Lux, the Wilson paddles, the Friday Fever, Rhombus Ripple, Neonic Swift, and then as well as a interesting set of new paddles for the beginner from Joycent. They reached out on Instagram and sent me a set of paddles that I'm going to take a look at and let you guys know about. Then I do have some reviews coming up. Where Pickleball sent a few paddles, and the highlighted one, of course, is the Zeus. You might have seen that one. That's the one with the lightning bolts on it. An interesting company called Palicol. Palicol is a Filipino-owned paddle company based out of the DFW Metroplex. They sent me a couple paddles I'm going to review. And then, of course, I got some whiskey reviews coming up, some Four Roses, some Boss Hogg. I want to do a set on Octomore as well for my Scotch lovers, so look forward to seeing that. I have a couple of videos I plan on shooting of the 11624 paddles. I plan on comparing the Power paddles that came out earlier this year with the new Alpha Pro paddles. And I've got one of each in each shape. I'm going to be hitting those side by side and letting you guys know my thoughts on that. I want to do a short video on my current mains, right? I don't have one main. It's paddle review, you can't just have one. So, but what are the 5 paddles in my bag that I'm hitting the most, and why, and what do I think about those? And then, of course, I have a bunch of this or that's planned with a bunch of different paddles and a bunch of different whiskeys. Good. All right, guys. Well, I hope this helps you get a little idea into the world of WhiskyDink. And let me know in the comments what things you want to see coming up from me and on my channel, both on Instagram, YouTube, and a little bit of TikTok as well. Take care. Peace.